Don't do that. God. Do it again.
Okay. Greetings from Athens, Alabama. Why did you sound like Forrest Gump?
Because every time we go through Alabama, I want to sound like Forrest Gump. And every time I say it, and I don't mean to, it comes out like Forrest Gump.
Okay, friends, we are in Athens, Alabama.
Alabama.
On our way home from our big adventures to the villages and Crystal River. And I think tonight's going to be a pretty short episode because we are exhausted after being in the car all day together. I think maybe we're a little slap happy and silly. And are you maybe sick of me yet?
I'm not sick of you. I'm not sure what I am.
Greetings from Indianapolis, Indiana. Friends, we are home.
Woohoo!
We started to record our episode last night at the hotel in Athens, Alabama, and we thought better of it. Beth, would you like to share why we made that decision?
Because it was the best decision to be made. I think we were both a little tired. I think we'd been in the car for a while. I think we've been around each other for a while. So I think we just needed to chill.
So it was the best decision for the podcast and our marriage.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
It started out lovely. In this episode, we are going to talk about our adventures on Crystal River and wrap up the Florida vacation, talk a little bit about the drive home. Do you want to start with the kayak trip, and then we can talk about the drive home and kind of keep this thing in chronological order?
Okay, that'll probably help us remember things. Yeah, the kayak trip. So when we were thinking about doing something at the tail end of our vacation, we wanted to go somewhere toward the beach. We wanted to definitely get to see the ocean and whatnot. But in researching Crystal River, found out that that's a place where you can see the manatees, and we thought that'd be pretty cool. We didn't really want to snorkel with them or swim with them, so we decided to kayak with them. And Crystal River, I guess, is getting pretty commercialized. So when I was looking on TripAdvisor, when I was looking on TripAdvisor, I was really going for something that was a little more unique. And boy, did we find it with Along the Banks kayaking. Our guide, Drake, was super knowledgeable. What an interesting guy. He's a boxer. He's built like a boxer. He's a big guy. What did he say? 6'4", 6'5". But has a lot of knowledge of nature and could identify all the different fish that we saw, the birds that we saw. Took us to a couple, quote, secret areas where we saw crocodiles, where we saw alligators, and baby alligators. I don't know why I get crocodiles and alligators confused so much, but I do. And we saw the manatees. We saw 3 of them. They are so majestic looking. And we went back to this one little area that is really off the beaten path of a kayak, if you can, I guess it'd be off the beaten water. And it was back
off the paddled path?
Off the paddled path. There you go. This is why you're still working and I'm not. So it was fun. It was a good kayaking trip, and I think probably the highlight of that portion of our vacation.
Oh, definitely. And I had resigned myself that we might not actually even see any manatees on this trip, that it might be kind of like the no whale watch.
Nothing could be like the no whale watch. We went at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was a little drizzly, and Drake was awesome. He's like, if you guys want to go, great. If you don't, that's fine. But we were both definitely in for it. And I think that was the best time to go because there weren't a lot of people out on the water, and it was really, really cool. And yeah, I was getting a little nervous. We were about an hour and a half into it because it was about a 3.5 hour tour that we went on, and we finally saw some. He took us to 3 places that are usually predictable to see them, and the 3rd place finally had them, and we were very happy about that. But I agree, because of how great the rest of it was, it would have been disappointing, but nothing like the no whale watch.
No, even just the kayaking piece of it. It was so peaceful. It was so beautiful. In addition to the manatees and the mama alligator with the baby alligators, we also saw osprey. We saw this really cool needlefish.
Oh man, that thing was so cool, the needlefish. It was long and green. Apparently they can get pretty large. This one was probably about 8 inches long, but literally no bigger than my finger, probably no bigger around, but so cool looking. I wish we could have gotten a good picture of that. There's just no way we could have.
And then we also saw a green heron, which we get super excited when we see those here when we're out on Eagle Creek. But to see one in Florida was even more exciting for me because you have really turned me into a bird nerd.
Yeah, let's be honest. You saw the green heron because you were at the tail end. Drake was in the lead, I was second, and you were the one that saw the green heron. So I paddled back to see that because, yes, that is uber exciting.
Yes. And he told us that he also does sunset kayak trips. So I think if we ever go back, that is something that we would do. And we weren't actually on the Crystal River. We were on the Chasowitska River. I hope I said that correctly. And it was in Homosassa. And it is a little less commercialized, a little less...
it's a river less traveled, kind of like a road less traveled. A river less traveled.
And this is why I have a co-host.
I'm glad you pronounced that river too, because I would not even want to attempt that. I'm a little nervous when I say Homosassa. 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 Yeah.
Okay. And then after the kayak trip, we went to eat lunch at a place that some of the locals recommended called The Freezer.
Well, our Airbnb host recommended The Freezer, didn't they?
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that was an excellent recommendation because that was pretty tasty. So thank you, Amy and Tim. We had steamed shrimp and I had stone crab, which if I've had it before, it's been years and years and years. So it came out, it was just the stone crab claws and a little wooden mallet. And I'm not sure that anybody else around us had the stone crabs because I was the only one beating the heck out of those things. And you really had to beat the heck out of those things. And you didn't really care for them a great deal, but I think I probably gave you a bad bite out of the tip of the claw. So that's my fault. And I didn't dip it in butter for you.
That's okay. I quite enjoyed my mac and cheese. And the clam chowder was very, very good.
Yes, that was very good. But who knew that Florida would be famous for their mac and cheese?
Well, you can take a girl out of Indiana, but she's always going to find the mac and cheese.
Yes, she is.
And then on the way home, we stopped at Sparky's so that you could look at e-bikes because I think that's kind of the route that you've decided that you want to go.
So our friends Kendra and Susan took a little vacation up to Michigan and raved about these e-bikes. And I just couldn't get the allure of it. And I felt like if I got an e-bike, I would just, be worse in shape than I already am. And, it was just an electric bike that you didn't have to pedal. Mm-hmm. But after riding one and trying one out, I get what the allure of these bikes are. You can have a pedal assist. So like when you and I go over to Eagle Creek, there are hills over there I'm not going to try to go up. Even when I was younger and skinnier and in better shape, I couldn't get up some of the hills over there. So I don't feel so bad about that. And yeah, I think I'm seriously considering the Aventon e-bike.
Does that mean I can just get a Vespa scooter?
Nope. I'm just going to remind you of our trip years and years and years and years ago to Key West, Florida, where we rented scooters and you didn't, but you almost laid one down in a parking lot. And at that point in time, you were kind of wanting a Harley Davidson. So I nixed that idea and then I in turn nixed the idea of a scooter. So still no to a scooter for you. Nope.
Okay, there you have it, friends. After the e-bike adventure, we just went back to the room and hung out for a little while and decided we would go back out to Fort Island Beach to try to catch the sunset, which turned out to be a no sun sunset.
We ran into a lot of those. Well, so the day, as I mentioned, started with some drizzle. Then it got nice. Then it got overcast. I mean, I know that's Florida weather, but we had been told that the best sunsets come with weather that's a bit overcast. So we were excited thinking we were going to get a good one. And half the way out there, we realized we weren't going to get anything. By the time we got to the beach, it was blustery. It was windy. I guess blustery and windy are the same thing, but it was not a pleasant. I mean, there was like hardly anybody out there. But we still hung out for a little bit and made the most of it. So it's good.
And I do want it noted that we did drive past the Shrimp Landing restaurant that you told everyone was a food truck.
Fine.
It was not actually a food truck. Like, they weren't driving that thing anywhere. It's a trailer. I just want that noted.
Fine, they're not driving that thing anywhere, but since it's a trailer, they could get a truck and pull it. So yes, you are correct. It was not a food truck, but it was still mobile. Agreed?
Okay. And so based on this, it's probably a good thing that we chose not to podcast last night.
Because you would have pushed this issue more? We were both right. How about let's just agree to take it right down the middle. You were right, I was right. We're both right.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah.
I like to get to be right sometimes.
Fine, you were right. It was not a truck. It was a food trailer.
Thank you. I feel much better now.
So do I.
We made it all the way to Athens, Alabama last night.
It's ridiculous how much you have to spend on a hotel room. I understand with COVID and, there was no occupancy anywhere for the longest time. No one was traveling. But, we mentioned that home too that we stayed in on the way out that I thought was a fabulous deal. We had to pay a lot more for the Hampton Inn. Now, you talked about the breakfast at the home too, but after having the breakfast at the Hampton, what are your thoughts about the breakfast at home too and the breakfast at the Hampton?
Well, they both had waffles.
Okay. Yes.
So that was a big plus.
But
Hampton had bacon.
Yes. Bacon, oatmeal. I don't know what the Hampton... I need the recipe for the way the Hampton Inn does oatmeal because it's so good. It's delicious.
Yeah, thumbs up on breakfast this morning. And then you finally got your barbecue last night because there was a barbecue restaurant conveniently located right in front of the Hampton.
Lawler's was the name of it, and it was pretty good.
It was. And then we tried to podcast, and that was not going well. So then we just watched Old School and Talladega Nights.
Yes, I'm embarrassed to admit both of those things. But that's what we did.
And then we got a good night's sleep, and we were in much better moods this morning when we got up and hit the road and drove the rest of the way home.
And now we're home. We're waiting on our dog to get here. She's still with Becky, our babysitter, and I know that dog has had a vacation as well, but I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing her. The cat was pretty happy to see us, but we had our friend Sherry come over and take care of her, and then our friend Lisa has been here the last couple days, but I just really want to see my dog.
Okay. And then you're going to go look at e-bikes this week, aren't you?
At some point, I'm going to probably check those out, yes.
All right. Is there anything that you would like to add before we wrap this up?
We're not going on vacation anywhere again anytime soon, are we?
I think it's going to be a while.
Okay. Well, I love vacation, but the best part of vacation is coming home.
I agree. Thanks for listening, friends, and we will see you
on the road.